Xinhua.
Good morning, boss.
Morning. Me settings no. I'm checking here. Oh, Okay. So how's it going? How's it going at China? Foster. Christian. Hey, you're on mute too.
Hey, everything is good, boss.
Paul Haguma.
Yes, boss.
Hey.
Hello?
How's it going?
Oh, good. No complaints.
You enjoyed your break?
Did I even break?
Yeah, you didn't join. We didn't join last week. That's a
Oh,
break.
I just celebrated it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm brand new in the course.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start because it seems this is gonna be it. If anybody joins, there will be a recording. Can someone help us understand where we got to last time we met?
I think we completed creating. We was just working on module where we created modules for creating an EC2, and then prior to that we created a VPC module, and then where we were was to be able to create both an EC2 module that works and then the VPC module that works.
Okay, I think that's correct. And I think one thing that we were working on was making sure that the code was on GitHub, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. How far did we get to?
From my side, I've managed to troubleshoot the issue I had with the code just denying to go to GitHub due to some Terraform files, and then I realized Git ignore only works to something that's committed after it is in the project. If you've committed something before and then you add the git ignore, it doesn't work on that one. So I had to remove those changes and then add the git ignore and then do the same thing, and then it worked. I have the code on GitHub, and that is for only EC2. I'm still on the VPN one. I mean the VPC one. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Thank you. Chris, how about you?
Yeah, that I was able to get the EC2 done, but the VPC I wasn't able to tackle it.
And where is your code? Is it in GitHub?
Yes.
All right, then share your screen and show me whatever you got in GitHub so far. It's very important that we have the code in GitHub. Who's going to share his screen? Chris, go on. Okay, so if you go to the Terraform folder,
Yeah, this is Terraform folder.
and in there you have modules.
Yes, and then that's my EC2.
Okay. All right.
But I've not tackled the VPC yet.
Why? If that was your task for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
How
I
can
was
we move forward if you're not at that stage? It was a task that was given to you last weekend. We didn't join, so we wanted everybody to get to that stage. All right. Paul, can you share your screen and show me your code?
Okay. Just chilling.
In GitHub, yeah?
Oh yeah. Let me bring that one. Yeah, these are the code on GitHub.
No. I want to see it from GitHub.
Yeah, this is it. I think you can see my screen now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Looks okay. Okay. So you have your Terraform modules. Why? Okay, you got modules folder.
Yeah. This is the module folder, and then there is an EC2 file there, and then I have the file where I'm calling the modules. I think now I realize there is a lot of change that I've made that is not committed yet. As you can see on my Crowd9, I've changed the name, and I've added the VPC module here, and then the VPC file. Yeah, I think I have a lot of things that I've done that is not yet committed here.
All right, then commit them.
Okay. I haven't yet completed the VPC one.
So just commit the ones that you've done, which is the EC2 then.
VPC.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and then I'll show you something then. So the aim is to learn Terraform. That's the aim. And then to do that, what we have done is we are going to use our application, which we call personalized greetings. We're going to use that to practice our Terraform. Okay. And in Terraform, we realized that we can create modules. So we got to the modules section, and then we've created a VPC module and an EC2 module. Okay. So let's just continue with our let's continue with our 1 minute. this one. Mm-hmm. 1 minute. What is this? Okay. So let's do a quick recap of our Terraform. So, of course, we introduced ourselves to Terraform. We then started learning the Terraform. Let me share my screen and take you through it, actually. So you know, because obviously when we come back we need to recap ourselves and then get to where we were. All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Right, so we started from here. We obviously learned how to install Terraform. And then we went through the workflow, right? Plan, review, apply. Obviously, what init is. We did all of that. And then we did the Terraform concepts as well. And then we learned about resource blocks. So we got a provider block, we got blocks like that are these. Obviously, we spoke about reserved keywords like resource and so on and so forth. We talked about Terraform providers. And then we discussed Terraform state. Okay. Where we looked at the remote state using AWS S3, and we also looked at where the local state is stored. We played around that as well. And then obviously we learned about the stages where I think we haven't done anything there here. Then we started working on variables. We done outputs, and then using outputs, we obviously added some subnets. And then we started Terraform modules. We explained that how we used the variables to require inputs. Okay. We have discussed the outputs file, which is Terraform.outputs. We've done some functions as well. Well, but we need to focus on some more functions. We haven't done workspaces and so on and so forth. Okay. There's more on the list that we need to work on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want us to finish our VPC module and our EC2 module. I really do want us to have it ready in our GitHub, and I'm gonna because obviously we can't all be in different stages. Okay, so that we can easily continue with the project. So what I'm going to do, Foster, you haven't done yours, so you're going to share your screen and we can all do it. Okay, while Foster is doing his, Paul, you need yours to be completed also and pushed. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me share mine, and then you see how mine is done. And then you can focus on doing yours, because I really do want all of us to be on the same page. So let me go to my GitHub.
Ben, a quick one before you move. I think I'm running out of space on Cloud9, and I have seen you increasing it before.
Okay. I think for now, if you can delete some files and work on it so that we don't spend too much time.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'll show you how to do that.
Let me do that.
Okay. If you don't need everything, you can download some on your laptop as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm here, yeah, in my Git repo. So this is the level you need to get to. You obviously have your Terraform folder, and in your Terraform folder, you have your VPC modules folder, and I have my obviously README, my EC2, my variables and everything. So I've already done my EC2. Okay. I'm not sure if I have any pull requests. Nope. So there's nothing there. All right. Now I'm going to continue. Okay. So if you look at my Terraform module, my EC2 module, it's literally requires, it creates a public SSH key on AWS, and it downloads the file. So the top 3 blocks are for generating the SSH key. And then we create the EC2. Currently, all it needs is an AMI instance type, the key, and the subnet, the private IP, if I want the public IP is true, and I add some tags. That's it. This will then go and create the EC2. So then I go and call it from here. And as you can see, I'm passing those variables there. I've got my tags, this is the tags. I've got my key name, all the information that I need to call it. And I'm putting this in the backend in S3. Okay. Now I've got my EC2. I need to add my VPC. Okay. So to add the VPC, which is here, I also created a new folder. I'm going to push this, a new folder, and in the folder I've created all these. Okay, Chris, I hope you're starting on that. I really wish that everything had been done so that we can move forward, but let's do it today. So in my VPC, we're going to go through my VPC as well. And of course, I'm using for each function to create multiple subnets and all that. So we're going to go through. I think I have already gone through this with you the last time. So I was expecting that people would have actually done the job. Right. Let me go here and see if I can start. Let me see what changes I've done.
Obi, please, can you increase the font size?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. So have I actually moved it? Okay, seems I've got this here. Oh, okay, I've already pushed it, I haven't merged it. Okay. Now, okay. Let's create it. Let's merge this to master. All right, this will help a lot because it will help you to understand the difference between now adding the VPC. That's what I wanted. I wanted to show you what I did to add the VPC. So in the EC2 module, as you can see, there are 3 files that I had to make changes. So what I have done is I've created a VPC, and I want my EC2 to go into that VPC. At the beginning, when I created the EC2, as you can see, I did not add any subnet ID to the Terraform resource block. But now I'm adding a subnet ID. The subnet ID parameter will then tell AWS which VPC to put it in, because if the EC2 is going into a subnet A, all subnets belongs to a specific VPC. Okay, so it will find that VPC and find that subnet and then locate the EC2 there. So as you can see, in my module, I had to add this line to the VPC, the EC2 that I created. And then after that, I also did this as well. I added the subnet ID variable because I want that subnet that I want to put the EC2 in to be parameterized. It has to be a required parameter when we are using the EC2 module. So that's all I did. So as you can see, the EC2 module was created and it was using a default VPC, but then I changed it now, adding one more parameter and a variable to require that subnet ID is given. Okay. Then obviously I'm going to go and create my EC2, my VPC. So as you can see, I've got my README here, which I always normally do. I've got my output. So when the VPC is created, I want to know the VPC ID, the public subnet IDs, a list of them. Okay, so what are all the public subnet IDs? The private subnet IDs, and the internet gateway ID. That's the information I want to know after the VPC is created. These are my variables. I'll not go into the variables yet, so I'll go to the VPC block, and there's a lot there. Okay. In the VPC block, of course, we are creating the VPC. The block to actually create the VPC itself is let me go into the code itself. Okay. I have already taken you through all of this. So this is it. Okay. So the code to actually create the VPC, that's it. That's it there. All right. AWS VPC, I'm calling it main, the main VPC. Okay. Now I need to create some. This thing is not what I expected. Why is it using count? All right. I'll show you count today. Last time we did for each, but today we're going to use count. Okay. I will use this to introduce count to you. So remember, I told you in Terraform to loop, you can use count and you can use for each as well, these functions. And here I'm using the count. Okay. So it creates the VPC, and then now it does the public subnet. Okay, public subnet. Now the count parameter goes in there in a variable of a list of variables. So this variable is a list, and you can see that it's here. This here is a list of strings. We specified it that is a list. That is also a list of strings. And we are passing that list of strings to this count. So what it means is the length function will go into the list and count the number of elements in the list. Okay. So if you have 10 elements in the list, that is going to be the length. So it's just going to get that number. is it how many items are there in the list? It will count it. If there's 10 items, it will just replicate this with 10. That's all this length function is. It says, go into this list, go and count to me how many items or elements are in that list. If it's 10, then the number will be 10. So it says count 10. Yeah. And then it's creating a VPC. It says, what's the VPC that I'm going to put this subnet in? Remember when we created a VPC, we have to create subnets and subnet associations and stuff. Well, which ID of the VPC you want me to put it in? And then the CIDR block of the VPC is also in a variable. Okay. It's also in a variable. All right. We put the CIDR block. It's also a list of CIDR blocks. And here is where the loop comes in. Okay. So each time that this count function goes into the list, at each time, it will have an index, isn't it? So the first one says the first item is going to be what it will replace here. So this count.index. I really would expect that you go and watch some other videos, because I mean, I'm going to introduce these things to you. It's best that, as I said, I say every day, you do your own other research. Okay. So what it means is that, let me actually write it down. I really don't want to be. So we have a list. And this is how, let's say, lists are. We got a list of we got A, C, D. The elements in this list, how many are there? 3, isn't it? So what we want is, we will count that and have this number. This is how many times I'm going to do the loop. So we are telling the system that loop through, find this number, the length, and that's how many times you're going to do a loop. Okay, that's how many times you're going to do a loop. But when you're doing the loop, you're doing the loop for this amount of times. Okay, go into this variable, okay, and check the index of count. So the index of count is at this first loop. What number, what iteration are you in this first loop? So a loop, as I've told you, is a fountain. It's like a fountain. The water goes through the tap, comes back into the hole or the bucket, and then it gets drawn back up to the top. So if you let's say put a ball or something small in the water, that item will be going round through that loop each time. So think of it like that. So water fountain that has a blue dot in there that can also go through the pipes. So it's following through with the water. When it comes to through the water 1, that's the first time it's coming out. So it will be counted. This is the first time this ball is coming through the loop. First time. That's number 1. Okay. So what we want is, we want to find whatever the number, the loop that you've done, put that number here. So number 1. So this will be this at the first loop. This here will convert to this. So this variable comment here will be this. Okay. I'm going to use 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to confuse you with zeros and ones for now. So 0, 1, 2, 3. The first one will be 1. Let's say This is the first loop. At the first iteration, the index is 1. Okay, so here, no. That's what this count.index means. Count, what is the index? What is the number that you're doing now? Is the first one. So it will be converted to this 1. Okay. This is the first one. If that is the case, replace this with 1. So all of this count.index will be replaced with number 1, which is the first loop. We're counting the loops. Okay. What this then means is we're saying that go into this variable. There's another variable called cider blocks. Okay. And cider is also a list. Okay. Cider is also a list, and it has 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 4. It's also a list. So we'll go to list. We counted this list, and then it's going through this list. That's how many times we are going to create as VPCs or subnets. So we know that it's 3. 3 means that we're going to loop 3 times. We're going to find the first one that we are looping is 1. And then what we're going to do is going to put this information here. What this 1 in this square brackets means is that go into this list here, and find the first item. 1, the first item. So all of this will be is basically saying that go and find the first item in the list. Variable, or if in programming and in most programming languages, if I have A, B, C, D, yeah, and I put all of this in a box. A variable is a box, we all know, yeah. A variable is it's a box, but it's a list. We have data types. We've all learned data types, yeah. A list, and then I say, okay, this I'm going to put all of this list in a box called Ben. So Ben is equal to this list. Okay. When the program is running, it's just going to put all of this in this. Okay. So if I want to find the first element, Ben, I say Ben, and I open brackets again. The same brackets that you've got here. I open it and say, I want all of it. I want everything. I can actually do this, or some of them will do at, some of them will. If I want all of the list, everything in the list, I can, these are some programming language will allow you to do this. Okay. Some of them, if you leave it empty, it will bring you all. But these are some of the things that you need to. So go and learn about lists and adding lists in programming on YouTube. You can get all of these. Okay. But the most important thing is, if you just want the first one, normally it's 0. Some programming languages will be 0. No, in programming, lists and counts start from 0. So when I say I want the first element, mostly you get the first element by putting 0. But forget about that for now. So if I put 1 here, it will go and get me A. The value that I will get will be A. Okay. If I put 3 here, I'll get what? B. We can actually try this in Python. Okay. So let's try it with using Python. So I'll run a Python program, which is not installed. Why is it not installed? Or maybe I haven't spelled it correctly. It is installed. So let's create a list. Ben. Okay. And we say it's equal to 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. Okay. In square. That's it. In the memory of this program now, it has put all of this in its memory. This is information, data that's it's there. Okay. Now, if I want the first element in Python, there's a program, there's a function that you use to print something. So I can say print, and then obviously open parenthesis, and I need to call the variable. Then and say 1. See, it gave me 2. In Python, the first element is actually 0. Okay, so if I want number 1, it's actually 0. I need to put 0. You see what I'm talking about? So it has the list in its memory, and if you want the first element, you have to put, let's say, 0, and it give you 1. It will print 1. It will just give you that number 1. So everything in the list, I just want the first element. If I want the last element, I think you can do -1. -1 is the last element. Yes. Okay. -1 is the last element. You need to go and learn these things. Okay. Okay. It's something that if you want to develop and go further, you need to go and learn these things. But for basics, I really wanted you to understand that this here highlighted means that whatever is in Ben, which is the variable, I want element number 2 is represented by 1 in Python. Okay, so if we go back here, what we are doing here is go to this variable and go and find the element that is 1. But we got that from here. The first loop, we just want to find out what number of loop it is. If it's 1, then go and find the value of 1. If it's the second loop, then go and find the value of 2. If it's the third loop, go and find the value of 3. 3. Okay. So let's actually put variables there also to make it a bit. Okay. So where are the variables there? Okay. So these are the variables, and this is the list. Okay. So if we go back here, this is the list. So we did tell it to count how many items are in this one. The public subnet side, count them. And it counted anything after the comma is 1 element. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. There's going to be 3. So I'm going to do the loop how many times? 3 times. Okay. I'm going to do the loop 3 times. If you're going to do the loop 3 times, while doing the loop, tell me the number of loop you have done or you're on now. And if you this is here. So the index dot the count dot index means that which loop are you doing now? Okay, I'm doing the first loop now. Okay, if you're doing the first loop, then go and get me this value in this list, which is then the first. And so we'll take this one and put it there. So by the time all of this that I'm talking about is done, the cider block will be this here, will be the first. It will be this value will be replaced by the first cider block. Okay, and then it will create the VPC. Okay, with that cider block, it will create one VPC, a subnet with that cider block. And then it goes back again because it's a count. We are doing it how many times? We're doing it 3 times because we are counting. We did the length here, and there's 3. So we have to do 3 loops. So then we'll start again. On the second loop, it will just say, I'm on the second loop now. If you're on the second loop, then find me the value that you have on this in this link that represents second. I've got that one now. Then I'm going to create another VPC for you with this one, subnet for you with this one. And then I'm going to go back again to the top and do it again. When it gets here, every time it gets here, it checks if the index is equal to this number. If the index is this number, then I will stop because I've done 3. Okay. So I'm coming back again. What index are you now? What loop are you? How many? Which loop are you doing now? This is the 3rd loop. Oh, okay. Go and find the 3rd value. Is this, and then use it to create another subnet. Okay, I'm finished. I created the 3rd one. It will start again, but then when it gets here, a condition will be met, and the condition is if the loop number is more than this number here, then don't do anything, because I wanted you to do it only 3 times, but I can see that you're going a 4th time. You're going the 4th time, so don't actually go again. Stop, and then the program stops. That means that we've created 3 resources using 1 block. That's what the count does. The loop, either you're using count or you're using for each, is the same thing, just that they represent the values differently when you're using the map or the variable. Okay, so that every resource that you're creating, we are being smart here. We want you to tag the VPC subnet for us. Okay, so this is the tag block. We have a default tag, and the default tag that we're doing is this. We got this default tag here. Yeah, this is default tags. So we will create a tag environment, and then we create a tag project. But one thing that we expect you to do is that merge. So we're using the merge function, and as I said, each function we open brackets and close brackets. So you can, if this bracket opens here and it closes here, everything within the function is what you want the function to do for you. So what we're doing is merge what you want to merge and what you want to merge with. Okay, so we are adding one more tag, and the name that we are adding into this map is name. The variable we're adding is name. The value we want is that we're going to write private subnet, because these are creating private subnet. So we want to tag it private subnet dash, and this is where the concatenating comes in. We are concatenating this hard-coded private subnet. And guess what? We are going to find the index again. What number of loop are you on now? I'm in loop number 1. If you are in loop number 1, add 1 to it. Yeah. So loop number 1, you add 1. 1 plus 1 is what? 2. The reason why it's adding 1 to it is, as I said, each loop, and it's true here. When we did the Python, where did we do the Python? Here. We realized that programming languages, give me 2 seconds. sorry guys. So we realize that programming languages represent the first element with 0, now the number 0. Yeah. So if I want the first element here, I have to say 0, and we did it here, and there was 1. Terraform does that as well. Okay, it's also a Python program. So if the number 0, I don't want to tag my resource with private subnet 0. Okay, I don't want to tag it with the private subnet 0. No, I want it to be private subnet 1. Okay, the index is 0. So what we are doing here is we are finding the index, and the first index is going to be 0. So if that is the case, add 1 to it. That means 0 plus 1 will be 1. So it will be private subnet 1. Okay, and then in the next loop, the index will be 1. But we already tagged one resource private subnet 1. We don't want to tag another one private subnet 1. So we are adding 1 to it again. And so the next loop, which is 1, will be tagged private subnet 2. And then the next one will be 3, 4, 5, as long as you have the siders in the block. Okay. So that's what the loop is all about. Here, if we hadn't used count or this loop function, we'd write the same block how many times? Because we are creating 6 subnets. We will be writing it how many times? 6 times. So that's what loop does. Loop helps you to reuse code. Okay. Instead of writing it 6 times, we wrote it only 2 times. We could actually have used more logic to just write just this for public and subnet. We could have actually done some changes here and just use this block to create 6. We'll count 6, but then we will know which one is public and which one is private. We could do that. Okay, but for simplicity, I just did 2 blocks and called one private subnet and public subnet. Okay. Now, a VPC also have one internet gateway. There's only one. So you create an internet gateway and you attach the VPC ID to it. That's it. Okay. It has route tables, and there's one route table for public access I'm creating. Okay. And then you have to associate the route table with the subnets. Okay. And as you can see, we are also doing the count here again, because we want each subnet to be attached to this route table. Okay. Each public subnet, all the public subnets. And we all know in VPC, on in networking, a public subnet is a subnet that has access to the wider world, okay, outside the VPC. If there's a route to outside the VPC, then of course it's a public subnet. If you didn't attach anything to a subnet that allows it to talk to the outer wider world, then it's a private subnet. It can only be accessed within. Okay, so we create a route table and then we associate all the public subnet. And as you can see, I'm counting the public siders. Here it says public. Okay, so that's what's going to make it public. Creating the subnet here doesn't make it public until you attach it to an internet gateway, route table that has internet gateway assigned to it. And then we create another route table. This is the private route table. And as you can see with this one, we are not attaching the internet gateway. Yeah. And then we're going to associate all the private ones with this route table. So it will obviously be only accessible within the network, not outside. Okay. So that's the VPC that I created. And obviously, you know about variables, you know about the outputs and stuff like that. Okay. So this is the VPC module. That's the variables, all the variables that are required and then the VPC out, and then I've got my output. So now let's go and call this VPC. Okay. In the personalized greetings folder, that's where I created the EC2. So let's go back to GitHub and let's see what the differences are from the one that didn't have a VPC and from now the one that has VPC. So this is it. So when I created it at the beginning, where is it? There. You can see that I only had this. 1 minute, let me go up one more. Yeah, okay. So this one, when I created this, I used the VPC module, the EC2 module. You could see that I only called the module, passed in these variables, and that's it. But now I want to create a VPC as well. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a module here, down here, in this same file, main file. So when I run the personalized greetings Terraform apply, it will create the VPC and the EC2. Okay. So I'm creating another module. So here there's a module, and they're all going to use this backend. There's a module for EC2, which I've already done, and there's a module for VPC. So in there, I'm adding all the variables that I need. The block cider for the VPC is that. The name of the VPC is going to be this. And these are the variables, how many times I'm going to create my subnets. So I got one for public subnets and I got one for private subnets. So it's going to be 6. So obviously we're going to loop through this list, isn't it? That's what we were just I was just showing you there. And then I have the tags. But when the VPC is created, it will create subnets, and I want to put the EC2 in one of the subnets. Hence, we put the subnet block here, which is a variable. Now, this subnet is going to, if you go to the outputs of the VPC, you realize that we get an output for IDs, a number of IDs. Okay, so if we created 3 subnets, we need the IDs of all the 3, and that's also going to be presented to you in a list format. A list again, list is coming again. So the output that Terraform is going to give you, it will give you a list of subnet IDs. Okay, so this is what this block here does. So get me the list of all private IPs and get me the list of all public IDs, okay? And put that in this variable here, this here, yeah? You see, private subnet IDs. So it will go and get these IDs and locate them here. The same way we've done here in Python, we created Ben, didn't we? We created Ben, and then we allocated a list to it. What Terraform is also doing is, in outputs, is that it's creating a variable called public subnet IDs, and it's going to put all the IDs in it in a list format. So ID1, ID2, ID3, okay? So we have a list again. Now, how do you use the list? Okay, we go to main.tf. We want one of the IDs. So that's a function here we're using again. This is element. Go into the module VPC, which is this. Find the output public subnet IDs and give me this first element. So you put 0 for 1, 0 for the first element. 0 is not, first is not 1. If I say first, give me the first item. The first item is not number 1. So don't confuse first with 1. First in programming is 0. It's 0. First is 0. Okay. So I want the first element in this list that has been created in the VPC module. So go to VPC module vp.vpc. This is it. Module.vpc. Module.vpc. Yeah. Go to the module down here, the VPC module, In there, there's an output. We have specified the output here. There's an output, and there's an output called public subnet IDs. Please get me the first element. When you get it, assign it to this. It will be the subnet ID. So the EC2 then will be created in that subnet. Okay, the EC2 is be created in that subnet. Let me pause there. Guys, ask questions. Okay, there's no stupid question. This, when I was learning these lists and how to do lists and so on and so forth, it took me a while. I had to watch a lot of videos and to understand this. Okay, so if you want, we can focus on it. If you don't understand, if you want to ask more questions, I'm here for you. Okay, so I'm going to stop a little bit for you to ask questions. Okay, I'm expecting questions. Oyindinka. Am I pronouncing it well? Abola.
Hello.
Hi. How's it doing?
Like I said, because I'm still new to everything, so it's still like a magic somehow. But I'm sure I will get there one day.
So
To be honest, it's still like a magic.
there's a lot going on here, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot.
And the other day I said to you, don't be afraid of it. Okay.
Mhm.
Today, even if you don't know, you know about lists.
Yeah.
In programming, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't know how to use it.
I don't know. Maybe this is a bit advanced for me. Because I never tried anything with coding before.
Don't worry. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Okay.
This is advanced, but when you start the introductory, which we will do next year,
Okay.
when we come back here again and we start talking about list, you've already understood the list. Don't forget about how it's used, where to use it, or anything. Just take it as in programming, there's something called lists.
List. Okay.
That's it. And in the lists, oh, the first element, they call it elements. Just learn that. In programming, you can even tell your wife and the kids, programming, they have lists, like the shopping list. The shopping list is a list. And in programming, if you want to refer to the one on the top, is list number 0.
0, yeah.
You get my point? Just learn that. How to use that list, forget about it. Where to use that list, forget about it. But it's better to know these things. And then when we are bringing it all together, you understand more. Yeah?
Yeah.
So today, we know that there's something called Python, a programming language called Python. You saw me using it to demonstrate lists. Yeah?
Yeah.
We are working with Terraform. You heard Terraform. Forget about it. These are all programming languages. Yeah. Sometimes you can just go and watch a simple, basic introduction. What is Terraform on YouTube? 4 minutes. If a video is more than 10 minutes, it's going to confuse you.
Okay.
Okay. If you're starting and the video length is more than 10 minutes, it's a confusing video. If you're starting, it will confuse you. So if you say, I want to know what is a car, I would just want someone to spend 2-3 minutes and tell me what is a car.
Yeah.
If it goes to 10 minutes, 20 minutes, then they're going to go, a car has a tire. I don't want that. I just want what is a car. Yeah. So do these things when you join, and then we talk about lists. Oh, okay. In programming, what is a list? Look at a video that's just 5-6 minutes. Watch it. Oh, okay. We've got lists. You don't want to know about programming. You just want to know that in programming there's a list, something called list. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Anyway, Paul and Foster. I'm calling this guy Foster. And Christian, you need to ask questions, else I will ask you questions. Paul, I presume you are okay with lists and all that in programming, isn't it?
Yeah, I've done programming before.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. The indexing thing is I'm okay.
Okay. How about first and how we are using it in Terraform? You understand? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, boss.
How about you? You did programming as well, and you understand
Yes,
lists?
boss.
Okay.
Yes, boss.
So you are able to use the count function to do the loops, and you understand it. Yeah.
But I've not done the VPC yet, so I'm still following what you're doing, and then I'll execute it because I wanted to get the understanding before I do anything.
Okay. So this is it. Finished. I've created a VPC module. Remember, in AWS, all I did the beginning, if you look at my pull request, these are the changes that I'm adding, okay? And today you learned something about pull requests. So pull request, it's written here, pull request, okay? Just don't go and watch too many things. Pull request, what is it? If someone says pull request, what does it mean? That's a 5 minutes video. Pull request. So I created this, and it tells you that whatever I'm adding to it, okay, which is a very good way that will help you make changes to your current EC2 that was being created in a default VPC. How do I make sure that this EC2, now that I have I have my own VPC, how do I associate that EC2 to that VPC? And obviously we did the VPC module, we used it, and then we also added it to the main.tf. So in this main.tf, where we are creating the personalized greeting, what we are saying is everything that is to do with personalized greetings will be here in this folder. The VPC, the EC2. If we have to create another program or another module or anything that is for this personalized greeting will be here. Okay, but what if in personalized greetings we wanted to do another VPC, but we want to use it to do something else? We can create another folder here, and then we can then use the modules that we want to create those resources. All we do is change the variables. Okay, so this is it. If you want, I will I'll merge this, and then I will share with you, or you can start working on it now. We've got 1 hour, or we're 50 minutes. Can I say that people should put their code in GitHub to this level using this time? Can we do that?
Yeah, I think
All
So
right.
are you putting it on your repo so that we can?
No, you do it yourself. Nonsense.
it's there already.
Yeah,
No, it's
oh, don't
is
tell
it there?
him. Don't tell him. He's going to go and clone it.
No, I'm there, but I can't find it. I can only see what you pushed 2 weeks ago.
Which is good. I don't want to share with you. You don't know how to find it. You didn't pay attention. I've opened this page. Just find the code. It's there in GitHub. Find it. How do you find it? Paul.
So I'm on your repo, Bernard, upon personalized greetings.
Yeah.
I'm there, and then I can see models/EC2 and personalized greetings. That's
Oh,
what
my brother. You are in which branch in the code?
Oh, main. Okay, nice.
I didn't put the code in main. I haven't merged it yet.
Yeah.
You need to go and look for the branch that I have used to do the VPC. Yeah. And then you see that information. You see the modules and then others too. Don't go and copy and paste though. It's best that you understand what's going on.
Yeah, I was getting the understanding before I do anything, so now I understand.
All right, get to this level where you have your code on GitHub. I'm going to merge mine now. And then we are going to apply it and create the resource in AWS and see how it goes. Okay. So when you finish, please raise your hand. While they're doing that, I'll do some explanation for you. Yeah. Give me 2 minutes. So how should I call you? What's the name? Hello?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, just call Oye. Oye.
Oi. Nice. Where is this PPT? Where is this PPT? Where is this PPT? Where is my PPT? Okay. Did I download it? Oh man, let me look for a PowerPoint presentation that I've started working on. I'm not very good at PowerPoint. Chris, are you any better?
Oh yeah.
You there? What you don't know how to do? What?
I'm a good designer too. I can give you nice template and all that.
Nonsense.
Good animations.
You don't know nothing.
Yeah.
You don't know nothing.
No, I know a lot. I'm just
You don't know
lazy.
nothing.
I know a lot. I'm just lazy.
Okay, I've got my screen, yeah. So while they are doing that, I want to take you through this. Can't I download it? Share everything. Okay. Right. So I'm working on this PowerPoint presentation. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Now, demystifying IT. IT. Some people say IT. What at all is IT? He's in the IT industry. What exactly does that mean? Do you know what that means? Oi.
Yep.
Do you know what that means? Someone says, I'm in the IT industry.
Oh, okay. Information technology.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Into IT, yeah, that means you are into computing different, so many things. IT has got so many things.
Hmm. Chris, how do you see the PPT?
Oh, I'm not looking. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's okay, but you could have added some.
You will find out, don't worry. So, demystifying IT, all right?
Yeah, you could have added some
So, this
background
will
on
help you understand what is IT, how it works, and who does it, who does what. Okay, the three things. The I in the IT, the T in the IT. Why is it required? What the typical IT framework and the definition of terms in the IT, roles in IT, how they interact with each other, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So if you look at the IT, okay, here what we are trying to say is that I is information. It's information. And then there's technology. IT is information technology. Okay. So what is information? Do you know, what information is?
Yep.
Can you help me? And let me see what you understand. What is information? If I say what is information, can you describe in the layman's terms?
It's been passed through, that it's been communicated to people with understanding.
Okay. My understanding is 1 minute. Give me 2 seconds. Quit. Duplicate. I haven't finished the PPT, so I need to do things so that I don't. Okay. So information is anything. I think it's data that makes sense, that's meaningful. Okay, so if I give you raw data, I can give you raw information. I can say car was blue. The road number, the road name. I'm communicating with you, but I'm saying car was blue. The road name was Chavez Way. House number 10. Day is time was in the morning. Day is Monday. Does this make sense? No, isn't it? So if I didn't give you this information, it makes sense, it's meaningful, then that's not information. If I'm just giving you this, I was just giving you raw data. Someone somewhere has to make that meaningful. What does that actually mean? Oye lives on the road number. You get my point? Wow. It's all about, we were describing where someone lives and the time they were doing a course in the morning. Okay. So truck driver can move from A to B with goods. Okay. Or a truck driver can move from A to B with goods. This truck driver can send information back. It can send data back, not information, data. And the data they can send back will be mileage traveled, fuel receipt, GPS location, all of that. Okay, but then we need to make that data meaningful. Is well, we will put it all together and say, oh, he traveled from here, he started there, and so on and so forth. You get my point?
Yeah.
Aha. Now, this information that we receive, those days, there was a lot of, isn't it? So if you look at this is how people used to live. Even on the left-hand side, you can see that we even have a computer there, but it still wasn't enough. Look at how people used to live and behave when they get the information and the data. Even the technology part, how are we even going to collect this data? If it's in numbers, a bank, they want to keep people's money. Yeah. Bank wants to keep people's money. They need to know who the money is for. They need to do all of this. Sometimes, at the beginning, I think when banking started, everything, there was no technology. So you'll have to come, and then someone need to verify that it's you. They'll probably give you a word that you have to come and say. You have to come
passbook.
Yeah, or your passbook. Those days we had passbooks. Yeah. And then all the transactions that we do, we write it in this passbook. And the money was literally in the back. They will go and get it and bring it to you. You get my point?
Yeah.
All of this was creating data. Yeah, that's data. But there was no technology there. And one of the technologies that they probably brought before was, okay, now, even if you have the passbook, let's bring some tool that you can thumbprint, and then the tool can actually check your fingerprint to match whatever we have. You get my point?
Yeah.
That's someone using technology. So that's the word technology coming in. Yeah. Before, let's take a truck driving or a logistics company. You know, when the truck driver moves, the truck driver will have to then stop at a place. If they're going to use a compass or whatever they use, they can then find their location, make a phone call, and tell them where they think they are. How accurate that is, nobody knows. Yeah. But then the use of technology meant that they put GPS tracking systems on the vehicle, which can automatically give the driver accurate location information. So technology was then needed. And that's what information technology is all about. It is technology because there's technology for a lot of other stuff that we've done. But this one is specifically for information. Yeah?
Yeah.
Information technology. Everything that we do, we do it for what? For in IT, everything ends up to be the data. Everything. If you are in IT and you're doing security, you're protecting the data. If you're in IT and you're doing networking, you're making sure people can get to the data. If you're in IT and you're doing analyst, you are analyzing the data. Everything is data. And data, as I explained to you, is just raw information that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Yeah. We'll bring it just like that. We'll open a spreadsheet, like everything is there. This. That's the data. Okay. And we use technology to first collect this data. Yeah. collect the data, store the data. Like when I went here, you see how they were storing this data in files, and how many you can't, if your customers, there's a lot of customers, how are you going to survive? Those days there were people who were literally, there's a room where they put all these files, and looking for one thing will have to take you a day if there's no proper filing system. You'll be struck. Even in your own house now, sometimes the letters come, you look at it and you leave it. You look at it. One day when you need one of the letters to prove something, you'll be struggling in your house to find that one. You get it? So we use technology to collect the data, store the data, protect the data, and actually make sense of it as well, where the information comes in. Yeah, that's all. So I've mentioned some things to you now. I said, collect the data, store the data, protect the data, make the data meaningful, analyze the data. Okay. All of these are roles in IT. Things that people are actually in offices working on. They learn the technology, and then they use it on that part of the data. So if this person is a security guy, they will learn the technology that we have for security to protect what? That same information. If someone is data analyst, it's in the name. They learn the technology that will help them analyze these big data. Because now we are using technology so we can collect it. The amount of data that people are collecting, man, trust me. Okay. Now, DevOps comes in, isn't it? Which is what we're doing here. What do they do? Okay. DevOps, the architect, they work with the developers. They are people who actually also. So one thing you should know, I think we should understand who a developer is before I even go into DevOps, is that these technologies, computer, servers, all of these, and Python is a technology. It's a programming language. It's a technology on its own. They have just been done, but they are like, computers are like aliens. I don't know how I can put this, but they are like aliens who doesn't know anything. They have their language. They don't know anything about you. You want to use them. Guys, when you finish, raise your hand so I can stop. You want to use the technology, but they don't know anything about your company. They don't know anything. So what they know is how to talk to them. They know their own language, the zeros and ones. We have a way to talk to these systems, this technology. Now, developers are people who learn the languages that these machines and aliens speak. They learn those languages. Like if you want to go to France and you want to go and order food and you don't know how to speak French. Well, it happened to me when I went to Spain. They spoke no English, not one. How was I going to buy this food? It's going to be hard. So how do we use this technology? How do we talk to these machines that we are putting the information or the data there? Those are the people who learn the language of these aliens. Everything that you know now, if you open your laptop, everything on there, someone has programmed something in there, which allows the laptop to behave the way it's behaving for you. Someone somewhere sat down and wrote those programs. instructions. So the machines need instructions. And to instruct someone, you need to know how to talk to it. And that's all that developers do. They really do know how to talk to these systems, how to develop them, how to make them, and how to instruct them, which is the programming languages. Example is this Terraform that we are doing. We are writing instructions in the language that that program understands, so it can go and perform some actions for us.
Okay.
You're getting it?
Yeah.
So the DevOps engineers, what we do is we work with these developers, because the developers, they know the language, yeah? They know the language. So we, the DevOps engineers, we also know the machines. We know them. So when a developer writes instructions, sometimes they need to test if the behavior that they thought they were doing or they're developing, whatever logic or instructions they want, is it even going to work? Is the machine going to understand this information? And if the machine will do it, how many resources or what is the energy capacity that this machine will need to perform these instructions? What is the memory capacity that the machine will need to perform these instructions? Okay, so we, the DevOps engineers or the operations engineers, we are mostly operations. We will know Windows very, very well. We will learn just Windows, which is an operating system that sits on one of these machines. And then we will learn that more. And when the developer finishes their code, we will work with the developers as well. Before the DevOps wasn't there. So we work with the developers as well to let them understand the machine that we know and help them while they're developing. Say, oh no, maybe this one, maybe remove this or add that, or you get my point, because the machine might struggle. Maybe for this one, maybe we need to buy a bigger machine. So we have that link between developers, and that's why it's called DevOps, development and operations working together. DevOps, okay? Development team and operations team working together to make sure that whatever instructions or programs that they are writing or systems that they are writing, it will work okay, very well on the systems or machines, aliens that we look after. So we will just look after those things. Yeah, we will look after them, and then the machines will be there. We're looking after it. So if I need to be looking after a machine that runs, let's say, Windows, then I need to know how to look after it. I need to learn Windows. I need to learn the security of Windows. I need to, all of that. And we also have tools that we use to do these things. Because one thing you need to know is every machine has users. Like Windows, you have users. Someone can come in, someone cannot come in. Someone, when they come in, they can do A, they can do B. All of those things, someone else somewhere is in charge of that. Developers just write the application and then they give it to DevOps, and DevOps will also install the tool that they've developed and then look after it going forward. So does this make sense? Yeah. So I hope that IT is demystified.
Yeah. It is. It's very in a simplest way.
Yeah. Because if we don't start from here, you will get confused. Now you know why DevOps is there.
Yeah.
And now that everything went into the cloud, what cloud really means is someone has a computer and they have a way for you to use some of their computer, but through the internet. That is it. That's cloud. This is it. Cloud computing. That's it. Amazon, Microsoft, Google has big servers that they have hosted and in places called data centers. Yeah. And these big machines, look at this. This is a typical a simple data center. And what they've done is they're giving you some sort of can you see it? Yeah. So they give you access to use this. So it is a server, it's a machine that sits somewhere, and then you are able to somehow work on it through the internet. That is what cloud is all about. This is it. So some people think that it's actually in the cloud. No, it's it's a physical machine, physical computer sitting somewhere that you can use and pay for it like you are using electricity. Electricity is actually generated somewhere.
Yeah.
And then they find a way to bring it to your house. And you pay as you go. Simple. And that's what Amazon did. It's like, okay. And I think at the beginning, Amazon was just, they had a load of these for their own Amazon marketplace, which is where you buy your stuff. And then they decided they're going to find a way to see if they can sell some of them, because what they were doing is they bought a lot and they were not using all of it. I don't know how true this is, but then they decided, okay, let's sell some, the ones that we are not using. And they realized, actually, people are actually interested in this. Let's actually create more and sell it. And it became Amazon Web Services. Okay, so that's that. Guys, you're still not finished with the VPC? Copying and pasting and changing variables? So I'm not finished with this PPT. It's good. It's not bad.
OP is done, but my Cloud9 is taking ages.
Ages like what?
It's not loading. It's I don't know. I'm sure I'm out of space or something, because I have this error. This is taking longer than expected. The delay may be caused by CPU usage in your environment. Your T2 or T3 instance might be running out of bestable CPU capacity credits.
Cloud9 has been doing that because they stopped monitoring, supporting Cloud9. It's recently been doing this. If that's
it's been running like this for like 20 minutes, but I've copied and pasted everything and changed that.
But the thing is, if you're already in Cloud9, how did they start doing that? Did you refresh your page? Did you go somewhere and come back? Or just
yes, I wanted to test the code, so I did the get init, everything went through. I did Terraform init, everything went through. I did Terraform plan, and then it started doing this. So I refreshed the page again, and it was still doing that. And I closed it and opened it again, and it's still like that.
Yeah, you're probably gonna lose your work.
Hey, lose.
Yeah. So what? Share your screen. Let's see what we can do. You can lose your work. Yeah. Well, no, but I know how to get in somehow. Other means and ways and means. So yeah, we finished. Demystified a little bit of IT and what DevOps is all about. Hopefully, the PPT was good enough to help.
Yeah.
I know someone who said they know PowerPoint so much, so I'll try and see if they can help me on it. to improve the PowerPoint. Paul, you can also perform this action to revive
I've
to
lost
bring-
it. I've lost my work already. I'm just recovering from that. I just prayed it smart, and I wanted to increase the disk.
and then you lost the Cloud9.
Yeah,
The Cloud9 will not work again.
yeah. I'm trying to do it the other way.
I told you to stop. Anyway, close this page, Chris. Okay. And where is the Cloud9 that you're looking at?
This one.
Okay. Click on Learn. Scroll down. Click on Manage Instances. Is it a new one you created or?
This was created long time ago, like weeks ago.
Okay. Okay, select it. I didn't say click anything. Select. Go to instance state at the top. No, we are instance state. I didn't say click it. I said go there. Listen to instructions. Where is the machine?
Hey,
If you don't listen to simple instructions,
I
click,
was-
select, go there. There are three different things.
let me go back again. Okay, this one.
Select that instance. Now I said go to instance state at the top. Right. Now click it and stop the instance. Click stop the instance. Yes, you want to stop. Okay. Let's wait for the state to change from stopping to stopped. So I'll refresh 1 or 2 times to see. Is it stopping still?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like a personal problem for me because I most definitely want to talk to you. No, she's trying to do the end, and I'm not gonna get away with it. dialogue.
Is it still stopping?
Yeah, I just refreshed it. Still stopping.
Is it still stopping?
Yeah, it's still stopping.
Well, there's something really wrong with it then.
Hmm.
It will stop. All of this should have been done last weekend, guys. Oh, you make me. We're gonna break. Let me talk about break for Christmas. We have just next weekend, and that's it. We'll come back on the 11th. So we do next weekend, and that's it. We'll have a break. Then we'll restart on the 11th. I'll give you some tasks, which is go and learn the exam for Terraform. Because next year we're going to sit the Terraform exam. So if you have time, whatever you've learned now, top it up. You need to pay to do the exam. You need to prepare for the exam. I'll try and see if I can get some questions for you, but I can't promise. Is this still stopping?
Yeah.
Refresh the whole page again.
Okay, I think it should be. Oh no.
Okay, select it again. Let me see. Select and go to action at the top right. Click it. Go to instance settings. Click it. So because it's not in a stop state, we can't do a lot of things. It needs to be in a stop state first. I don't know what's going on. Machine is dying. Right. Let's don't want to go through this. You want your files, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure maybe if we give it time, it will recover. It will stop, and then I can call you later and
Okay.
you walk me through if that's going to delay us or slow us down.
No, we finished for the day, actually. I was just going to support all of you to get to that stage. Let's see what I can do. We've got 10 more minutes. So, okay. Close these pages that you've got. The dialog box. No. Hey. You need to say which one. Okay, that one. Refresh that last time. Let's see.
Yeah, it stopped now.
Aha. Okay. Now go to instant action, instance settings, modify instance, change instance type. This one you're going to pay for, so you need to make sure that you change it as soon as, okay, we finish. You pay for the 10 minutes and then you stop it. So go to where it says T2 micro. Yeah, and then type T2 T2 medium. Click on medium, yeah. And then go down, change. Okay. Now let's go to the volume, go to the where it says storage tab.
Where is it?
Why have you clicked something?
No, I just clicked where you asked me to.
No, I said go to storage. Is that storage? Does it say storage there? Do you see any storage there?
No, that's why I asked you where is it.
Scroll down, up, not there, in the bottom pane, yeah. Up. To the top, go to the top. There, these tabs. And then scroll down a little bit. This is the volume that 10 gig. Paul, this is what you should have done. Stop the machine, go and find the volume, modify the volume, add 10 more gig, and that's it. And then you start it again. And it would have helped you. So click on that link to open a new page. And that's the volume. Select the volume again. Go to actions. Modify. And make it 20. All of this is going to cost you. Yeah. The disk is not free. Even if you stop the machine, you still pay for the disk. But it's only 20 gig. So modify. You're probably going to pay maybe $1 a month or $1 a month. Click modify. It's best to also download your files and put it on your local machine. And then that way you can actually terminate your Cloud9. And every time that you want it to work, you can create a new Cloud9, upload your things, work from there. You get my point? So, right. Now go to the instances again. Go and find that machine again, however you found the machine.
This.
So, what are you doing?
Oh, you said I should go and open the machine.
Go and find the machine. I didn't say go to Cloud9. The machine, how you found the machine that we made changes to. Come on. How did you find the machine that we made changes to?
So this is how I found the machine. I went to this.
Few common simple instructions, mate. If I want you to open Cloud9, I'll say that. So go to the machine. Then say go to Cloud9. If I say kill your, I didn't finish saying kill you. Will you go and kill your wife? Or you find out what do you want me to do with this kill you? Anyway, now go to Cloud9. You started the machine already because you clicked on the Cloud9. It started the machine and it's running.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to be in running state. And it's still taking too long. Wait for it to finish initializing. Refresh. I think we're gonna have to do something different later to get your files if this doesn't work. But that will be a little bit more.
Yeah, it's done.
It says done. Okay. Now go to Cloud9 and click on open. Let's hopefully it works. If you get there, take a download of your environment.
Opi, can I always create a new Cloud9 account and I won't have to face this issue again?
Okay. Yeah. If you create a new one,
Mm.
that new one will not have your data, is it?
No, I can just copy the stuff that I need, work, and then push to GitHub.
Yeah, and then you can throw it away. But what you can do as well, go to File in Cloud9, go to File, and then it says Download Project. Yes, this will download your everything in your Cloud9. So when you create a new Cloud9, yeah, you can create a folder on your desktop called My Cloud9 Projects, and then you can delete the Cloud9 when you want. You can create a new Cloud9 and then upload the project, and it will look the same as this. So that download is going on. So yeah, your data, your system is back.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. What are you going to buy for me?
You come and eat the stew again.
Nonsense. It's just yeah. I'm chilling corn.
No, the
Paul, did you manage to fix your Cloud9?
No, I think I lost it, and I'm
You're gonna
just
do it
doing
all over again. The good thing is I have the code, so
yeah.
get it.
I cloned what I have there, and then I'm adding
Okay.
the changes that's made there.
All right. On that note, guys, we'll call it a day today.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, can two machines? I know you've answered no, but can two machines? Let's say your machine. Sorry, the VPC you created. Okay. Can they have? Can the subnet addresses be the same as mine?
Yes. Look,
Nice.
a network, when we're doing networking, we can have, well, in my systems, I can have the same private IP as you. It doesn't matter. If your own data center, look at the network as your house. Yeah. In your house, you have your phone, your printer, your laptop. They are all connected to one network, isn't it?
Yeah.
The IP addressing system in your house is exactly the same as the IP addressing system in my house. They are all using 192.168 dot. You get my point? So that's because it's private to my house. It doesn't have anything to do with yours. It's private to my. So your AWS IP addresses can be the same as my AWS IP addresses. The only problem comes when we want to pair the networks together. So if I want to pair my network to your network, then if your network has the same IP addressing CIDR block, it won't work.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. There will be conflict because you can't have two IP addresses of the same in one
network.
In one network, yeah.
Okay.
That's it. So yeah, if you copy my code, you can use my own IPs. So instead of going to just think of your own IPs, you just want to use my code so much that you're even.
No. I was just asking.
I know. Don't worry. I know why you're asking. You want to be lazy so much. All right, guys. Let's leave it. I'll try and upload this video when it's ready. But I really want, when we meet tomorrow, everybody should be at that level where I am. You have your code, you can even create it, yeah, and destroy. Terraform apply, Terraform destroy, and it works. You check it on AWS, everything works. Okay, then we can move on. You can download your Cloud9 as well, put it on your laptop. That way, when you come back, you can actually delete all the Cloud9s. You don't have to pay anything. And tomorrow, all you have to do is create a new Cloud9 and upload your files to it and work from there. Okay. So that will be it for today. Thank you very much for joining. Bye.
Thank you, Benny.
Chris, leave the call. Oh yeah, are you there? Hello? Hello? Oh, it's just me. Okay.